There are lots of ways for us to communicate with one another using our smartphones today. Many of those use text. I'm Joe Levi with Pocketnow. Today we're going to talk about whether SMS is still even relevant. SMS, or short messaging service, grew out of the GSM standard, the global standard for mobile communications. Now, of course, that's not the actual acronym, but that's essentially what it means. In addition to these voice packets, there are other kinds of data packets that fly across this network as well. There's internet, of course, and then there's overhead. Now, this overhead is essentially your phone talking to the towers around it and saying, "Hi, here I am, here's my IMEI number, and just letting you know, hello, how you doing?" The towers then respond with kind of the same thing, but they include some information back, like signal strength, directionality, kinda sorta, and other things that are necessary for your device to be able to connect to the network. These towers then communicate with one another, and one tower says to another tower, "This guy needs to talk to you now. I'm going to hand him off," and there you go. So that way when you're driving a car, riding a train, whatever the case may be, your call doesn't drop when you go from one tower to another. It facilitates that handoff. But those packets have a secret little hidden spot at the end that's 128 bytes long and, for the most part, empty. Okay, it's not much of a secret. That's where all of our text messages go. But 128 bytes isn't all that big. But when you think about it, if you're not sending a text message, it's wasted space. It's just empty. But it has to be sent back and forth, so why not put it to use? Text messages do that. Like I was saying, 128 bytes isn't a lot, but if you use a special alphabet that has 7-byte characters, you can fit up to 160 characters into that message. That 7-bit alphabet is the GSM standard for texting. It's not enough to accommodate all languages. Some languages require 8-bit characters, in which case your message is reduced to 140 characters. Other languages require 16-bit characters, in which case their text messages are only 70 characters long. That sure seems like an awful lot of complication just to get a short message across, and really, since we've got the internet now with a whole bunch of other services that we can use to send and receive messages using text, why do we still have it around? It's a great question, and one that Pocketnow reader Alex S. brings to us. He says, "My question came to me the other day when my friend texted me and later got mad at me for not writing back. I was using Facebook Messenger and Google Hangouts that day. The question I have for you guys, is SMS still relevant? It's tedious using the service from our carriers when these other services exist." Sounds terrible, but I for one think those are a way better option. Alex, you're right. All of those services require that you're signed up for those services, and they're not available in all countries and in all places. So that's kind of the first reason why we might want to keep text messaging around. Second is, there are some services that don't work on other platforms, leaving friends that use those, well, unable to communicate with you. SMS is the lowest common denominator. It works with anyone that has a GSM compatible phone, and many people that don't have GSM compatible phones that are still on CDMA and other technologies. So there is that to keep in mind. But the biggest is the advantages that you get because those packets, they're overhead. There are two reasons why that's really important. The first reason is when it comes to crowds. When you're in a very crowded area, whether that's a big game or whether it's just an event or whatnot, you might not have enough bandwidth to make a phone call or to get any data through on the internet. But you're still talking to that tower, and that tower's coming back and saying, "Sorry, all circuits are busy." Sending a text message using your carrier's texting service can get that bit of information out to the tower, and because it's so small, whenever there's a gap, it can send that message on through. It's a very, very good thing because not only do you have that ability, but the tower is also going to queue it until it has that space. You can send it and forget it, and it might take 5 minutes before that text gets out, but you don't have to keep trying for that whole 5 minutes. You can be doing something else. The tower's going to take care of it for you. Where texting really shines is in case of emergencies. You can have a natural disaster where everyone is trying to locate their loved ones or tell their loved ones that they're okay. that clogs up all of the bandwidth that cellular network has, especially if any of the towers were damaged. For the same reason that we just mentioned, texting can come in really handy to get a message out. There's another reason, however. If you're in the middle of nowhere and you look at your phone and it has no bars, that doesn't mean that your phone's not connected to a tower or talking to a tower. It could mean that that tower acknowledges that you're there, but it also acknowledges that your signal is too low to get any kind of data or any kind of voice communication through. It's not going to show you any bars, but it's still talking. So send a text message using your carrier's stock text messaging app, whatever is the stock app, so you make sure that it doesn't go through the internet like Google Voice does. It will then try and send that out to the tower, and as soon as the strength is high enough that it can get it through, it will send that text message. Whether that's right now, an hour from now, or in the middle of the night, it'll send that message to the tower. The tower is then going to pick it up and it's going to send it on. So even if you can't talk to anyone on the phone, you might be able to get a text message through to someone asking for help. Alex, thank you very much for writing in, and I'm glad that I was able to field that question for you. Of course, I hope I answered it to your satisfaction. If you've got other questions or want to see other stuff, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so that you can keep up to date with all the stuff that we're coming out with on a regular basis. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and of course, hit us up on all of your favorite social media networks. For Pocketnow, I'm Joe Levi. I'll text you later.